Blur out what we couldn't learn and forget all that we see. Just wait for an ending like there's nothing more we need. We made this mess but never think of what we've done. Because when the tables turn, we better start to run. What were we thinking when we just burned it down? Was it for our freedom or was it for the crown? What were we hoping when we chased him down? We tried to fight the demons, but in the end, that's all that we've become. conquer life, stand the test of time. It's the dawning of the champions. No spine, no sign, no name, no frame. All over again, no hope, no faith. Despise, demise, and blame me the game. Standing idly by, and let the hatred come my way. Crying envious eyes, 'cause you are standing in the shade of a champion. We're the ones who never give in, and the fire's burning within. Conquer life, stand the test of time. It's the dawning of the champions. Got the weight of the world on my shoulders. Every day in the rain has made me stronger. Fly from high like leaves in the autumn, but I'm at a spark when I hit rock bottom. Full of strength and I know where I belong. On the one and let them know how I'm about to go. I see the stars in the night and I wanna watch me reach up and grab them. Back up to me and don't finish up. Rama, sounds the good dragon ball. Throw the roof off the book down the fucking wall. Witness the birth of a champion. We're the ones who never gave up. With a passion for reaching the top. Conquer life, stand the test of time. With desire and the will to fight. With the heartbeat of the champion. American When we try too hard to be something we're not. When we sell ourselves too short, but it's the only chance we've got. Wasting hours, counting dollars, staring face down at the floor. Is this what you call life? You're not dreaming anymore. American nightmare, is anyone out there who can save us from ourselves? I know that you don't care, 'cause we're never nowhere, and I'm stuck inside this hell. So we say, we're all okay. Don't need to anyone to at least we try. We refuse to waste our life on the American nightmare. When we go too far to prove that we still bleed. If it's pain that makes us real, then why can't I feel anything? Second guesses, wasted chances. Would you live for something more? Every hour is a year that goes by faster than before. You're not dreaming anymore. American nightmare, is anyone out there who can save us from ourselves? I know that you don't care, 'cause we're never nowhere, and I'm stuck inside this hell. So we say, we're all okay. Don't need to anyone to at least we try. We refuse to waste our life on the American nightmare. we say we're all okay. Don't need you anymore, at least we tried. We've been fused to waste our love. The American nightmare. Is anyone out there who can save us from ourselves? I know that you don't care, 'cause we're going nowhere, and I'm stuck inside this head. So we say we're all okay. Don't need you anymore, at least we tried. We've been fused to waste our love. The American nightmare. Today, I found the strength to open my eyes, leave it all behind. So open your mind and realize that your beautiful world could take my life. And I'm sinking under, drowning faster. Please just let me breathe. The air is leaving and I'm lost in need of you again. You break me down and you make me surrender. We are as Romeo and Juliet. So many years have passed the day since we fell in love and promised we'd never separate. But it seems the time has come that you run my life with no hope to fight and no time to hide. And I'm sinking under, drowning faster. Please just let me breathe. The air is leaving and I'm lost in need of you again. You break me down and you make me surrender. We are as Romeo and Juliet. To a code we all swore, for this life we have chosen. We are the soldiers to a common war we fight, and to this passion of love we may fail and die. I'm slipping further, we're falling faster, they're growing stronger. Let's not grow weaker than I know. You break me down and you make me surrender. We are as Romeo and Juliet. Behind said eyes, accept goodbyes. Will we fall back again? Live die as
Oh, baby. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's the All-American Cup Series Thursday night action. Gen 4's race number 4 of the season. right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's your pal Rowdy up in the booth. I'm fighting sickness this week, but we're going to thug it out just like these drivers will have to do 250 laps around the last great Coliseum. Let's go ahead and get your pole sitter, Mr. Michael Mullins, up and into the booth. Michael Mullins, Rowdy up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello?
You've picked up the top spot. Are we getting this dub tonight?
Where am I?
You're in the booth. Hello? All right, well, we'll send him back down. Having some issues with audio, I guess, at the moment. And we have just lost all iRacing audio. What a great... Did I lose audio? What's going on right now? This is crazy. I've never had this happen. We have lost iRacing audio. Oh, now we're back. Alrighty, well, we were unable to interview Michael Mullins. That's all right. We'll probably talk to him later. We got 36 drivers tonight. That was the cutoff. I believe we sent 4 drivers home. It's been one heck of a season so far. Of course, good old Hermanos Rodriguez Speedway started off the season. Was last week. Yeah, I'm sick. And now we roll into race number 4 of Bristol. Pace car is going to pull off 250 laps around this bull ring. Michael Mullins will lead him to green, and we're racing at Bristol. And here they come flying into turn 1. Michael Mullins gets the lead. Justin Thompson settles out of the second position. Lilith Peters, heartbreaking loss for her. Back in Las Vegas, and issues for Justin Thompson. He'll pull it off the track, but there seems to have been a wreck maybe behind him. I'm jumping back here. I don't see any wrecked race cars. When he pulled it off the track, did it draw a yellow? I'm not sure. I don't see any cars with damage, and we don't have an incident report, so I assume something wrong with Justin Thompson. He brings it down to the bottom of the racetrack, and it draws the yellow maybe. I don't see anybody with damage. I'm still looking through. So we're going to have to assume that everyone is A-okay. And it was because Justin Thompson pulled off. Now we go finds him. Well, hold on now. We got an incident report. No, we don't. We just have a car on pit road. So we're trying to figure out exactly what happened. I don't see any damage. Maybe a little bit of left rear damage on the 66. No incident report. We're not quite sure what happened to bring out the yellow on your opening lap. Damage on the 65 car. He just rolled into pit road. That's Elijah Cole. So there must have been a stack up of some sort. Not enough to bring out an incident report for us. Still brought out the yellow. Well, we'll re-rack him, restack him, and try it again. This time, Lilith Peters will move up to the outside pole position. Nathan Jurgensen, he'll get the 3rd spot. Curtis White, 4th. Mauricio Montenegro, he will be 5th. Rest of your top 10, Andrew Skelnick, Chris Heller, Justin Thompson seems like he's settling out 8th. Again, we don't know what happened to him, but he's still being scored as 8th. Hasn't requested an EOL at the moment. Dylan Rosenberg rounds out the top 10. So we'll have to keep an eye. And now Justin Thompson is dropping to the rear. We're going to extend the yellow by 1 lap, but not sure what happened to the 33. So we'll do one more jog around Bristol Motor Speedway. When we come back to the green flag, we'll come back to the flag stand. We'll come back to the green flag. Something about sinus pills and whatnot, and cold and flu pills get you all whoopy. Hopefully we're still going to be okay by the end of this. Maybe I should mix it with alcohol. That should make it better, right? Alrighty, we're going to get another shot at this restart. Again, 250 laps is a long race. These guys just need to settle in, hang on, stay mistake-free. Michael Mullins got a good launch. I'm pretty sure your top 15 were all very clean on the start. Now it's the restart. Michael Mullins will be in command. And we're going to resume racing here at Bristol. Entirety of the field seems to be A-OK. Meanwhile, Lilith Peters, she will take the lead over Michael Mullins. Curtis White into the 3rd spot. Nathan Jurgensen settles out 4th. Mauricio Montenegro in 5th. Lilith Peters will start leading here early. Lilith Peters, we talked about it right before the yellow came out. Looked like she could have been the winner of Las Vegas. Untimely caution at the very end took her out of contention. But her and Douglas Henry were the 2 fastest cars at Las Vegas, had the strategy played right. And this entire field is just getting single file right now. This is out the mirror of Lilith Peters. Got some 2-wide action going on right now. The number 21 is Christopher Murphy. He's in the 16th spot. He has Daniel Giroux to his outside. Behind him, Douglas Henry, Dayton Taylor side by side. Dayton Taylor on the top, Douglas Henry on the bottom. 75 of rookie Jake Miller hanging on your 15th spot. He's in the middle, the 21 of Christopher Murphy, trying to work his way up the inside. Justin Ray, P14, this is what he sees in his mirror. And as the field flies by our turn 2 exit cam, majority of your top 15 getting single file, trying to settle in. Guys still fighting for position outside your top 15 to the top 20. Some more side-by-side action right now. I see Daniel Giroux still trying to roll that top line, on board with him. Lilith Peters, 0.4 of a second gap over Michael Mullins. Right now, Curtis White is starting to get a little close to Michael, putting some pressure on. I think he wants to go for that spot. Rookie Christian Schrader, P6 right now. He's been eating up that top line. He's going around the outside of Mauricio Montenegro. Sacrificing some tire in this run for track position. Strategy that's worked out well before for the majority of the field since the beginning of the season. And Christian Schrader will get that 5th spot and immediately starts working on Nathan Jurgensen in your 88. Jacob Alicia, P9 right now. He's watching all this unfold in front of him. We're right along with him for a lap. He's just about your cutoff car for this first pack in your top 10. Look at Christian Schrader. He's still making that top line work right now. We are having some eye overlay scoring issues. So in a moment, I will attempt to fix that. Right now, Lilith Peters still hanging on to your lead. Michael Mullins follows in second. And I think now we may be A-okay. There goes the lap counter, reset back to where it needs to be. Meanwhile, Christian Strader cleared. Nathan Jurgensen is trying to work on. Oh, I've just got to... Okay, I thought I had a crash report. Not sure where it came from. We got some guys that reported as wrecking. I believe it is just drivers blinking out, so we'll be okay. That's always a little scary. Zach Mirtez, he's in the 6th spot. And so far, not much has been happening in your top 10. Andrew Skelnick has lost some positions. Dylan Rosenberg, he's working on him right now to get into that top 10. There's Dylan. Justin Ray just behind him. Mauricio Montenegro, he's going backwards right now. He's going to stay in front of Dylan Rosenberg for the moment. Closest battle on track, we're looking at Jake Miller in the 75. Underneath him's the 8 car, Kyle Ether. They're going to get it straightened out just in front of them. Christopher Murphy on that top line. Got around Jared Ray Hutton. Now he's working on the 38 of Justin Ray. In front of him is Douglas Henry. He's doing the same thing, running that top line. And this is what I like to see out of a whole long Bristol race, is guys settling in, migrating to the bottom, running laps, and starting to work on their own personal strategy, not getting too aggressive. Nobody's really running into each other. I think everybody's doing a really good job right now at taking care of one another. Right now, Lilith Peters, this is her view. And I believe before we get to the first pit cycle, it's going to be about 90 to 100 laps on field, depending on how hard you're running. I think she'll still catch lap traffic before this is over with. You can see the tail end of the field snaking off into turns 1 and 2 as she enters the front stretch. Michael Mullins doesn't have Curtis White pressuring him anymore. Both are going to settle in. Christian Strader looks like he's going to settle out 4th. Nathan Jurgensen might have to worry about Zach Mirtez soon. Zach has been catching. Chris Heller 7th, Andrew Skelnick 8th, Dylan Rosenberg 9th. Douglas Henry has moved into the 10th spot, working that high line. On board with Douglas Henry. Seems like a lot of those guys that were jockeying for position have had to leave the bottom a little bit. Maybe it's for comfortability, trying to get better rotation, whereas your leaders who haven't really changed positions are staying right where they are. Michael Mullins starting to reel in Lilith Peters at the moment. Lilith brushes the wall. Michael Mullins is going to be closing that gap. He's running that bottom a lot better than Lilith right now. Really patient on that throttle, and he has caught her. Whoa. Big lunge to the outside. Now we got a battle for the lead. Michael Mullins looked for it, and he's telling Lilith, hey, I'm going for something now. He'll roll that top line. Underneath, Lilith looking for the lead. Michael Mullins up the inside of Lilith Peters. We'll see what kind of game of defense Lilith can play from that top line now. Lilith pulls on away, so Michael a little uncomfortable right there in that dirty air. Can't really put the car where he wants to be able to make the pass, so Lilith will get some breathing room just for the moment. Meanwhile, Dylan Rosenberg, Zach Mierta side by side. This is the battle for the 5th spot. Rosenberg will take it. Here comes Andrew Skelnick up the inside of the 56. He will get around Zach Miertes as well. Chris Heller, Christopher Murphy side by side. That's for the 8th spot. Chris Heller and the 16 has it. Christopher Murphy really up high, trying to get a rotation off. Now has to worry about Mauricio Montenegro. Still side by side. Meanwhile, Lilith Peters is starting to catch some lap traffic at the moment. Slower cars in front, will that slow her down? What's that going to do to the air? Michael Mullins be able to go on the offensive, but right now Curtis White is making up a gap right now on Michael, as Michael has fallen off of Lilith. Curtis White might be the one to make the move here soon. Now looking underneath, Michael Mullins, Curtis White all the way down to the bottom. He will take the position in the corner. Michael Mullins will fall back to 3rd. Lilith Peters now catching lap traffic. Damaged race car in front. That's the 18 of Josh Dillon. Curtis White's able to get around Josh Dillon quickly, trying to stay within range of Lilith Peters right now. And it looks like the majority of this lap traffic will give her some respect. Right now trying to get up underneath Mitchell Mark and the 28. Some might try to battle, stay on the lead lap, but you got to accept the pace that you're running at the moment. Just about 60 laps into this race. Probably right around 35 laps till we see pit stops. The field starting to get some distance between certain packs right now. Andrew Skelnick, he's the 56 car. And the gap to 7th, 1.2 seconds, that's Jake Miller. He's all by himself. Then it's Zach Miertes, Christopher Murphy, and Mauricio Montenegro. We got a little bit of a pack going on right now. I see Justin Thompson, Chris Heller, Jared Ray Hutton, Douglas Henry, all underneath the blanket right now. Kyle Etheria in the mix as well. These guys have been dogging it up the majority of this race. On board with Jared Ray Hutton. Oh, crashed race car. Who was that? I'm not sure who that was, but there was a crashed race car at the bottom of the racetrack. It looks to be Craig Martin. Front end is destroyed. We're still green flag, but let's take a look at the replay. We're going to have to go back even further. Looks like he might have had some help. We'll have to look at it the old-fashioned way. So Craig Martin, looks like the 12 is going to come up and get him. Craig's not all the way up. Gonna start to head onto the outside wall. The 12 car is Ty Mosley. Still no caution for that deal. Curtis White in within range of Lilith Peters. Will we see a move be made? Right now, the two rookies of Nathan Jurgensen, Andrew Skelnick dicing up. Andrew Skelnick has just been a rocket on rails in these recent laps. Must have saved quite a bit of tire because he is moving and grooving in that middle lane. It's really working out for him. And Jake Miller, same thing. Jake Miller was going backwards at one point in this race, but he settled in, saved tire, and he's following Andrew Skelnick right now. Andrew looking up the inside of Dylan Rosenberg. Side by side, closest battle, closest to the front. Dylan Rosenberg has it off the corner. Andrew Skelnick being nice and easy on the bottom. I'm sure Dylan's pushing a little bit harder right now. This is the battle for fourth. Both drivers giving each other plenty of room right now. Looks like Dylan Rosenberg will re-clear. Andrew Skelnick will have to get back in line. We'll have to try it again later. Run off the corner. Can Andrew Skelnick take it somewhere? Andrew Skelnick just nowhere to go. Damaged race car ahead. How will he play a factor? Skelnick in the middle. I think he's going to get a run on Dylan Rosenberg here. Question is, where can he go? Rosenberg pushes up on entry. But Skelnick driving underneath. Not quite. But a nice game of cat and mouse happening right now. I think Andrew Skelnick's going to start to build that run again. But Dylan Rosenberg doing a really good job at playing defense off that top line, hindering the 56 ability to rotate. And Jake Miller is just kind of watching this battle, hanging out. Both cars are catching Michael Mullins at the moment, who runs third. And Michael Mullins is even in the wall, so must have really burned up some tire, trying to run down Lilith Peters. Curtis White got around him with ease. And here comes Dylan Rosenberg, and Andrew Skelnick will be right there in tow to take away that position. Oh, I thought we were about to see a car dump there. That was tight. Andrew Skelnick was trying to get underneath Dylan Rosenberg. Rosenberg was trying to get underneath Michael Mullins, trying to have the inside advantage. That could have been mad. That would have been on Dylan. That was close, and Andrew Skelnick, closest ahead he's been, half a car on entry. We'll see on exit how he fares. He'll slide up, and finally Andrew Skelnick will move into fourth. A really good battle between the pair. That's the 65 on fresh tires. Not for position. Jake Miller now starting to work on Dylan Rosenberg. Has a really good idea on what to expect after watching that battle between Rosenberg and Skelnick. Right now, Michael Mullins is going to have Andrew Skelnick knocking on his door soon. Now that the lap car and fresh tires has gotten around him. And Lilith Peters is stuck around a lot of lap cars right now. Lilith Peters in the 01. The orange car, 63, Curtis White in second. The Armor All, 63. They have a lot of lap traffic to maneuver around. We'll see, does Curtis play it patient or does he add the pressure now? Lilith doesn't have a lot of options. The only question is, how aggressive will Curtis get? He has the run up the inside. Lap cars take the high line. At the line, Curtis White had the lead. Lilith Peters, 3 wide, lap car up top. Corner exit who has the advantage. Still clean air for Curtis. Lilith is able to drive back down in front. Lilith Peters gets in front of Curtis White. Down the front stretch, Lilith is saying, hey man, I got to these lap cars first. Let me navigate. I'm not going to let you get a free spot. Nowhere to go. Looks high, looks low, underneath the 97. And I think finally she can take a deep breath here. Should be able to extend those legs. Oh, contact in the back. We're about to see a pileup if we can find the correct spot, but I don't know where we were looking there for a second. Thought we were going to see a wreck, but it settles out. Michael Mullins was coming with a run, then a lap car. Got into the rear end of another lap car. They kept it green with a no incident report. And Michael Mullins, we thought was dropping backwards. Since the leader's gotten lap traffic, he's reeled back in Curtis White because of the dirty air. Lilith Peters just wants to get away from Curtis White right now. Lap cars side by side. That was close. I think Lilith had to get on the brakes there. Curtis White closed up on a rear bumper really quick, but just had nowhere to go. And your leaders are going to start to get impatient, but you got guys racing for position while trying to stay on the lead. Lap 3 wide for their lap car on fresh tires. Lilith Peters probably wishes she could do that. But you're very limited right now with those worn out tires. Not a lot of grip. Curtis White rolls the outside line. It's going to get tight here on exit. 12th car does a good job staying out of the way. And Lilith Peters will finally get that nose clean. We're within 4 or 5 laps of pit stops. I think Lilith will be the one to make the move. Done a really good job at staying out front. Meanwhile, Andrew Skelnick has finally caught back up to Michael Mullins. Mullins is having to fight the 12th car right now, the lap car. Andrew Skelnick has more room to work with on entry and exit. That'll be his turn to get around the 12. Andrew Skelnick will do so. Here we go, outside, trying to drive his way into the top 3. Andrew Skelnick, really good run in that 56. And those are some really good laps that Andrew Skelnick put together. By the time he got around lap 40, you could tell that he saved tires, started driving his way up. That's what you want to see out of a rookie. And Andrew Skelnick into the 3rd spot. Lilith Peters has a 1-second gap over Curtis White. Closest battle, closest to the front. Kyle Ethier has been trying to work on Justin Thompson for some time now. Justin Thompson had to drive his way back up here. Remember, he took that EOL. So what a drive he's had, but those tires have got to be screaming. And the 8 car is working on him. Andrew Skelnick, he's caught. Curtis White for second. Andrew Skelnick sitting really pretty right now. Skelnick will take second away. Can he get to Lilith Peters before green flag pit stops? They should be coming soon. We did have to pace for about 7 laps, so expect them to get a little bit over lap 100. But a really good drive out of Andrew Skelnick right now. Yellow flag is out. We're looking for it. Incident report, Brandon Barkuski is 1 lap down at the time. I don't see any damage. Might have been a spin off the corner. We have an incident report. We will take a look at it. Barkuski up the inside, turn 1, ran over by the blinking 66. Reappears on the track. Where was the 66 coming from? Thomas Stokes was on fresh tires from lap 83. Just drove right through him. Right now, a bunch of cars down pit road. 1 car stayed out. Excuse me, that is incorrect. Everybody's down pit road. Dual pit boxes here at Bristol. Dual pit roads, excuse me. So guys have to do a full lap around the track to get to and from their desired pit box. At the moment, I'm being marked that Lilith Peters should have won the race off of pit road. Of course, when you use both pit roads at Bristol, sometimes the scoreboard gets a little wonky. Doesn't know who to score is first. So now it's settled out. So Lilith Peters up front. Andrew Skelnick second. Michael Mullins third. Curtis White fourth. Jake Miller fifth. Dylan Rosenberg sixth. Nathan Jurgensen seventh. Justin Thompson back up into eighth. Kyle Ethier ninth. Chris Worrell rounding out your top 10. But a really good run out of Lilith Peters. Might be the favorite to win tonight. Stellar drive out of the 01. Well, we'll get them side by side. Next time by, we will see the green flag. Everybody gets their caution to put on fresh tires, full tank of fuel right at the pit cycle too. So this won't really affect the planned outcome for a lot of these drivers. Just now, the field is more bunched up to begin the second run of tonight. Well, cautious breed cautions. Lilith Peters into the restart zone. We're back racing. Really good jump out of Lilith Peters through the corner. Andrew Skelnick right behind. Really trying to figure out why this camera seems delayed. Lilith Peters at the flag stand has it over Andrew Skelnick. Curtis White powers along the top line and gets into that second position. Oh, 75 and Jake Miller loose off the door of Dylan Rosenberg. Hangs onto it. These tires are going to be a little loose right now till they get up to temperature. Curtis White putting the hammer down right now. He's getting a run on Lilith Peters. He wants to go for this track position now. Showing some really good speed at the moment. chasing Lilith down right now. Meanwhile, Justin Thompson moved into 5th. Now he's working on Michael Mullins for 4th. Around the top line, excuse me. Yes, Justin Thompson into the 4th spot. And we keep it green to open up this second run. Justin Thompson on the move. He's going to look to the outside of Curtis White. Looking for second. Justin, man, a lot of speed in that 33. Look at him go like a rocket on rails. Is he burning up those tires? I don't know, but he just seems angry and wants to have the lead. Again, we're not sure why he had to pull it off the track. Well, we can obviously tell he wants it back. Justin Thompson looks a little aggressive. You can see the overdriving of the exit, just kind of brushing the wall. Lilith Peters seems more collected, but Justin Thompson really wants this spot. You can tell. All over the rear bumper of Lilith Peters. Even gives her a little bit of a shot down the straightaway, saying, hey, Lilith, I want the spot now. I will not wait. This time, Justin Thompson will try to drive it off the top line again. Doesn't quite get to the rear bumper of Lilith. Trying to see if he can make Lilith have a mistake and get around for free. I think Lilith will make him earn it.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And we have a yellow flag. And now I'm looking for it. 12 car Ty Mosley. We saw him pull off a few laps ago, but now that car is destroyed. What has happened to the 12? 12 car Ty Mosley. Does he get some help from the 3? No. 3 car looking inside. It's going to be a self-spin, over-rotation, over-correction into the outside wall. That was gnarly. Really good job at holding the brake here and letting the field get by. But his day is over. And we'll get a little break there for the second run. And I know it sucks and I hate having to do it, but we're going to take a peek behind the curtain and see what the deal is with our secondary pit cam and why it seems behind. Because here comes Lilith entering the back straightaway. Okay, and that's Lilith entering the front straightaway. So there's a clear issue with pit lane cam 2. I just did a Bristol broadcast on Tuesday. We weren't getting this issue. So I don't know why we're getting it now. There we go. Now do we have it correct? Oh my gosh, it's back. Don't know what we did, but we're going to leave it be now. Wait, nope, that wasn't right. Okay, somebody's jorking me. And I don't know who it is. Well, it looks like we can't use that fun camera anymore. Not sure why it's doing that. But what I do know is at the flag stand, we'll resume racing with the green flag. Fuel numbers right now looking like we could get to lap 210. Wilf Peters leads this time, chooses the outside line. Good jump over Justin Thompson. Michael Mullins now trying to make a run on that top line around Justin Thompson. Side by side, even for second. Michael Mullins will drive around the top. Can he completely clear Justin Thompson? Wilf Peters went up there to the top line. He had to lift early. And looks like Michael Mullins will settle in for that second spot. Will Justin Thompson try to get back by him? Curtis White right there in the mix as well. All three, even top four cars look really hooked up right now. I think Justin Thompson might settle in and see what Michael Mullins can do with Wilf Peters. Michael Mullins still rolling the middle, late apex down. Not getting hooked up as early as I think he'd want to be. Wilf Peters just kind of running her line right now. Michael Mullins. Pretty comfortable in that second spot at the moment. Justin Thompson doesn't really feel like he's getting pressure from him. Now Justin Thompson will go to the top. That's what Wilf Peters wants to see, get them side by side, but Justin will just blow on by and clear Michael Mullins. Can Michael answer on corner entry? Not quite. Justin Thompson back in second. And right now, Nathan Jurgensen making a pass for third. Caution. Big pile up. Not quite. Looks like about 3 or 4 cars. Entry to turn 3. Chris Heller. Trying to think who else might have been involved. I don't see. Oh, there's Jared Ray Hutton. That car's pretty hurt. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, there's a wreck happening. The 16 checks up. Jacob Lisi gets into the back of him. So the wreck started, looks, I want to say, who was that? We're going to go grab maybe Elijah Cole. Might have been Mauricio Montenegro. Who's up there? It's Jared Ray Hutton. We'll have to grab it one more time. Here we go. Jared Ray Hutton coming down across the nose of the 21. Must not have known they were 3 wide. 56 gets involved, and there's a slight ARCA brake situation in the back. 66, the 16. There's Mauricio getting into it. Watch that again. Yeah, Jared Ray coming down, not knowing he was 3 wide top. Nowhere for Andrew Skelnick to go. That was a fast car. That is unfortunate. And it appears Lilith Peters is back here in the 7th spot. Everybody, okay, here we go. Lilith Peters, Justin Thompson, Casey Carrington, Michael Mullins, Nathan Jurgensen, Jake Miller, Zach Muertes, Mauricio Montenegro, Lucas Strayer, Dayton Taylor, Drew Prowl, James Silvers, and Walker McNulty all just pits to top off fuel. Kyle Ether pit the previous caution, which will give us Curtis White, Dylan Rosenberg, Christian Strader, and Christopher Murphy, as well as Chris Worrell, track position. I don't believe any of those drivers would have taken tires. Now, we're not 100% certain. If we see a clear speed difference, we'll have to assume so, but topping off fuel now could very well get you to the end, get you a little bit closer. Here we go. Pace car will pull off. Curtis White, he'll have control from that top line, and we resume racing here at Bristol. What a jump out of Curtis White. That's going to bring Christian Strader, Dylan Rosenberg side by side. Strader will pull off into second. Kyle Ethier, he's on that top line in the 8 car. He'll have third. Dylan Rosenberg still going backwards right now. Justin Thompson will go by. Reminder, Justin Thompson, part of that cycle, that pit, I'm going to assume they all have more fuel in the car, not just fresher tires. Although we don't know for sure. Christopher Murphy in the 21 trying to follow through. Lilith Peters right behind him. And at the flag stand, Curtis White leads. Lilith Peters inside of Christopher Murphy trying to make that pass for 6th. And she will take it. Now begins to work on Dylan Rosenberg. Christopher Murphy now has to worry about Michael Mullins, who looks to the inside. Justin Thompson starting to work on Christian Strader. Justin Thompson will get second over Christian Strader and now tries to run down Curtis White. So I wonder if they did take tires. I know Justin Thompson's very fast, but I don't think Curtis White was that much slower. So it appears that those guys did take tires and have about 30 lap, it looks to be 35 laps extra in fuel compared to those 5 that have stayed out. I want to assume that is the better strategy at the moment. Jake Miller, Michael Mullins side by side for 7th. Jake Miller trying to stay in the hunt. Michael Mullins and him, same strategy, off the fence, and we're going to go sideways, and they save it. How? How did they do that? Great driving out of the pair. We stay green. Jake Miller hangs on to 11th. Michael Mullins 14th. That is some exceptional driving out of the pair. Wow. Great job. Only lost a handful of positions. What could have been a race-ending wreck. Right now, Mauricio Montenegro and Christopher Murphy side by side. There's a line of cars behind. On board with league owner Casey Carrington. He's in the 14th spot. Three car at James Silvers. It looks like he might have some damage on the left front of that car. Maybe not. May just be the paint scheme a little odd to my eyes. But he's moving right now outside of Mauricio Montenegro. Meanwhile, Lilith Peters just drove her way back into third. Half a second off of Curtis White. Total at 2 seconds off of Justin Thompson. So a little bit behind the 8 ball in terms of strategy, whereas Justin Thompson is completely pulled away. That's a lot of ground that Lilith needs to make up. Nathan Jurgensen in between Zach Mirtez and Kyle Ethier. Here comes Lilith Peters around Curtis White. So now the overall gap from Lilith Peters to Justin Thompson, 2 seconds. Same lap tires, so Justin just got a 2-second head start getting around lap traffic. Zach Mirtez getting around Curtis White. Zach Mirtez, third car on that strategy. Nathan Jurgensen following. Lucas Strayer, same deal. Casey Carrington inside of Drew Prowl at the moment. 99 of Dayton Taylor, he's in the picture. Walker McNaughton just behind. Mauricio Montenegro gets into 13th. Trying to run down Rosenberg. Zach Mirtez. Nathan Jurgensen battling it out. Jurgensen will get around Mirtez. Justin Thompson, man, clean air. That car is hooked up. This is a really good strategy. If we stay green, I want to lock him in. It's just being your winner. He just can't make a mistake. Lilith Peters, the only one to really contest him, 2.5 seconds off. That's how critical it was to chop your way through that lap traffic, or the old tires, excuse me. Right now, Jake Miller working up the inside of Lucas Strayer. Didn't we just see him sideways off the corner, dropping back to 14th? Well, he's back in it. Trying to drive back into the top 3. He's got to get around 4th place of Lucas Strayer. Jake Miller definitely has some speed in that car. Justin Thompson will approach lap traffic. Lilith Peters hasn't really reeled him back in. Nathan Jurgensen trying to get away from Lucas Strayer. And then Jake Miller still going back and forth for 4th right now. On board with Jake Miller. Oh, contact. That was tight. No harm, no foul. Leave a donut on the left rear of the 23. Closest battle on track, closest to the front now, Jake Miller. Run up the inside. Lucas Strayer doing a really good job at playing defense from the top, even down the straightaway. Lucas keeps it out in front. at the moment, Lilith Peters has shaved down that lead. Justin Thompson has. Justin entering lap traffic right now. The gap was 2.3 seconds. Now just over 1.5. At the flags, and here comes Justin Thompson. Not far off is Lilith. Jurgensen, Strayer, and Jake Miller follow. Lucas Strayer trying to pull away from Jake Miller. Jake is staying right there with him, though. That's still your closest battle, closest to the front. Justin Thompson, every time he gets some clean air, he pulls back away from Lilith by about 1/10. Lilith had to get around these lap cars as well. Your entire top 5 bobbing and weaving, trying to get that clean air. On board with Lilith. Justin Thompson just doing a really good job at the moment of managing that gap, working around track position. Nathan Jurgensen has Lucas Strayer and Jake Miller starting to run him down. Strayer really sideways off the corner. Really trying to make that car dig. Jake Miller was fighting hard for that spot, but hasn't really regained anything. Nathan Jurgensen, slow car in front. He'll be able to take the bottom. Lucas Strayer, try to go for that position. Can he drive it underneath? Yes, he will. 65 of Elijah Cole. Jake Miller trying to follow. Lilith Peters had some struggle getting around these group of lap cars as well. Nathan Jurgensen. I thought he was going to fall off quite quickly. I think he is the slower of that trio, but he's been consistently just outside the top 3. Now he's 3rd, putting together really good lap times. Lucas Strayer had speed, but I wonder if he's already scrubbed it out of those tires. Same thing for Jake Miller. When they get into clean air, they're not really catching up on Nathan. And Lilith Peters has just lost that ground to Justin Thompson at the moment. Closest battle on track, closest to the front, Micah Mullins, Dayton Taylor, Zach Mertez, all underneath the blanket right now. On board with Dayton Taylor. Michael Mullins will get around Zach Mertez. Dayton Taylor trying to follow. That's for 6th. Dayton Taylor will get Michael Mullins. Dayton Taylor started pretty much towards the back half of the top 25 and has drove his way now just outside the top 5. Lucas Strayer getting really close to Nathan Jurgensen. Jurgensen having issues with the lap car, the number 21 right now. He'll get by. Lucas trying to stay within range. Jake Miller up the inside. Lucas Strayer now dives to the inside of Nathan Jurgensen. And you can tell that car is really loose on exit. That trio is catching Lilith Peters. Lilith has really fallen off the pace at the moment. Jurgensen has kept her underneath a second, whereas Justin Thompson, your leader, has gapped to almost 2.5 seconds over Lilith. Lucas Strayer puts a nose in the middle. Try to get the rotation on the exit. You can see the car slightly stepping out. Same thing for Nathan Jurgensen, though. So he'll close that gap. Meanwhile, Jake Miller has hit pit road, the first of your leaders to do so. Here comes Lucas Strayer, Nathan Jurgensen back around. Lucas Strayer is just working and working and working on Nathan Jurgensen. Doing everything he can to get around the 88. Jurgensen doing a really good job at putting that car where he needs to keep the position and be mistake-free. Probably one of the longest battles so far this race between these two. Oh, lift! Jurgensen gives the respect of letting Lucas take the top line. Both cars a little out of shape. And finally, Lucas Strayer will grab third. Long, hard-fought battle. Nathan Jurgensen's nearest competitor behind. Dayton Taylor, 1.3 seconds off. And Justin Thompson doing a really good job of just cutting through traffic right now. Michael Mullins trying to stay only one lap down. You can tell he's really fighting hard. Michael Mullins, pit lap 191. He's trying to get a lap back. 3 wide with the leader and a lap car down low. Trying to get his lap back. Did he just wreck the leader? What a save out of Justin Thompson. Michael Mullins goes for it again. And now Thompson is around. Can you believe that? Gets into him, lays back, and then goes for more. Justin Thompson cannot be happy about that one. Michael Mullins trying to get his lap back to only be 1 lap down after pitting. Had no patience, drives into the back of Justin Thompson twice. Wow. Have you ever? We're going to go back a little bit more here. So Justin's coming down, unaware Michael's trying to take the 3 wide bottom, which is completely fine. We've been 3 wide around here. I mean, those are 3 cars on 3 different tire runs. Justin trying to get back into it, and Michael shoots the gap down low to officially take him out. And I mean, yeah, the hole's down there, but the guy in front of you, you just wrecked. give him a moment to save the car. It was a great save, and then he just throttles back up. No, Justin's not giving the bottom here. He's still trying to save his race car and drives through him. And there's some contact just behind. Justin does a really good job at not hitting anything, but does have left rear damage. Wow. I mean, that is unbelievable. There's Justin Thompson. He only lost, looks like, a position off of that. And that will bring the majority of your field down pit road. We're going to have guys trapped 2 laps down. Let's talk to Justin Thompson. Actually, you know what? Let's not. I think there's a feud going on. I think we're going to let that be. Well, Justin Thompson hit pit road. The rear end of that car is still damaged. You can see it. How will that affect the handling? Everybody that's able to pit and not hurt themselves in terms of getting a lap back or not will pit. Lilith Peters will be able to have the top spot. Zach Merites third, Nathan Jurgensen's fourth, Lucas Strayer fifth. The field will catch the pace car, and Lilith Peters will be in command. And this will be the final run to the checkered. No more fuel is needed. Can we keep it green for just under 50 laps?
Green flag,
Lilith
green
Peters,
flag.
Justin Thompson side by side where we take the green flag. 3 wide right now. Nathan Jurgensen looking up the inside of Justin Thompson. Zach Merites trying to look to the outside. Thompson's going to battle hard, but again, what is the handling of that race car? Off of turn 4, Lilith leads. Justin Thompson, he's right back in the rhythm, pounding that outside line right now. And already he's starting to put the pressure on Lilith Peters. Laps click down fast around this track. Your first 30 will be under pretty good speed. So you got to get track position now unless you're going to try to save and hope you can drive yourself around cars later. Now, all that giving and taking we saw earlier, it's not really going to happen much. Everybody understands that the position they're battling for may be the position they finish with just under 50 lap run here. So I think everybody's going to get super competitive right now. Lilith, rear view mirror, Justin Thompson all over here. Nathan Jurgensen, he's trying to get into this battle. Here comes Jurgensen up the inside of Thompson, looking for second. Lilith Peters has Justin Thompson all over her rear bumper, just drilling her own exit. 3 wide for the lead. Justin through the middle, clears Jurgensen barely. Lilith up top, can she get the run off that third line? Corner exit, barely hanging on the right rear, but man, Justin Thompson, that car did not lose any speed. He gets back to the lead. A little wiggle on the exit. Lilith Peters trying to get the spot back, but Justin Thompson just seems like he's on another planet since that second run. And now Justin Thompson will pull away with your lead. Making the Jurgensen on board. We hit lap traffic. Justin Thompson will need to maneuver perfectly like he did that previous run. Lilith needs to stay right on his tail. Like Hellcats cutting up through Chicago traffic. Justin Thompson makes quick work of the first couple of cars. Lilith Peters trying to follow. Car in the fence off of 4. They stay green. And Lilith is just doing everything she can to hang with Justin. Maybe she could save better tire than Justin Thompson, get him right at the end. I think Justin just has some unreal speed right now. Now Justin Thompson will hit more lap traffic. Lilith was doing a really good job at hitting her marks. Not reeling in Justin, but trying to stay within range. Corner exit will be affected by Giroux. You're here, Justin really patient with the throttle. Lilith seems to be rotating a little bit earlier. Trying to get into the throttle a little bit earlier. And now Lilith is building a run. Those were two really good corners. Can she keep it up? Lift a little bit on exit. I think if she opened it up just a slight, it'd be fine. Pushes up in the center, late rotation back into it, and that's where Justin beats her. She had two really good corners where she hit the bottom marks just right, but when she slides up a little bit in the center, Justin is not. On board with Justin Thompson. Hugging that line really well. Looking really solid right now in the 33. It's going to be all about how quick Justin can catch more lap traffic for Lilith to have a chance. Some more cars ahead. Lilith Peters now half a second plus off of Justin Thompson. If Lilith could do more corners just like that, I think that'd be spectacular for her run right now. Had to wait a little bit longer there. I think a little bit more brake pressure on entry, if she can get it down, would really help. 25 laps to go right now. Justin Thompson making it 24. So distance to the next group of lap cars. Lilith trying to hit some really good marks right now. She got about a 10th back on Justin there. They are trading 10ths at the moment. Now Justin into more lap traffic. It's around the 16. Here comes Lilith Peters. Can she follow? Get it quick. 16 gives her the bottom. And I can feel my voice trying to fail me. The sore throat, the sinus infection, and everything else playing its toll on me. But we're so close to the end of this race, we don't know how it's going to end. At Victory Lane, I'm going to be interviewing Justin Thompson with a spoonful of honey in my other hand. Lilith is keeping him honest, but just can't reel in the 33. 20 to go. Closest battle, closest to the front, Douglas Henry 8th, James Silver 9th. Doug using that top line. Dayton Taylor trying to make the pass on Zach Mertes for 5th. If something were to happen, all of these leaders are within range of each other to make something happen. If a mistake is made, or somebody loses momentum. I mean, everybody's pretty tight right now. Jurgensen only 2/10 off of Lilith Peters and gaining. Lucas Strayer adding some pressure on the rookie. Zach Meritez has Dayton Taylor all up his inside. But Justin Thompson is pulling away at the moment. Lap traffic ahead for him. Lilith has moved up a lane. Late apex on exit. Jurgensen kind of doing the same thing at the moment. But all these leaders are navigating lap traffic perfectly right now. Justin just minding his gaps as he crosses the flag stand again. Only one lap car in front for quite a bit of raceway. Lilith Peters a little loose on exit. Nathan Jurgensen been running third for the last almost 100 laps, trying to get that second spot from Lilith late in this race. I think he saved a little bit there to try to get her back. Up the inside, Nathan Jurgensen looks for it. Close to the door of Lilith. Jumps back in line. Lucas Strayer puts himself up in the fence there. Off the corner, sideways, saves it. Here comes Dayton Taylor. Meanwhile, Kyle Athier got around Zach Meritez. So Lucas Strayer is going to fall back here. Nathan Jurgensen still trying to work on Lilith Peters. But right now, Justin Thompson is checked out. 9 laps to go here at Bristol. Since that second run when he put on those tires around lap 130 has shown that he is the fastest car out on track. He didn't start like that, but he has absolutely came around. Lilith Peters, I think second best car by far. Really good run for her. Dayton Taylor right now trying to drive into the top 3, getting around Nathan Jurgensen. Dayton Taylor onto the podium now. Trying to run down Lilith Peters. Yellow flag comes out. I'm not sure where it happened. I'm looking to see who's exactly wrecked. Smoke, and I found Justin Ray. Not sure who else was involved. Walker McConty. Big front end damage. He has the incident report. Let's take a look at the replay. Walker in the 13. Where does this go wrong? Off the corner, into the door of Casey Carrington. 75 of Jake Miller, nowhere to go. Curtis White gets involved, and I don't think it's done yet. Oh. The 38's coming. Whoa, really good stop out of the 38. I thought he was involved with the wreck. He was so close. Wow. Walker just drives into the door. And what does this mean for the race? Walker McConty out of it, of course, but now you got drivers hitting pit road. Lucas Strayer, Casey Carrington, Lilith Peters, Douglas Henry, Zach Meritez. Everybody grabbing what I'm going to assume is a fresh set. Lilith Peters has won the race off of pit road. We're going to have maybe even a green-white checkered's worth of racing. Starting in 7th, can you realistically get back up to 2nd where she was running and almost guaranteed finishing? I'm not sure. But Justin Thompson stays out with Dayton Taylor, who was making really good gains there. Nathan Jurgensen 3rd, Kyle Ethier 4th, James Silver 5th, Drew Prowl, first time we've talked about him tonight, 6th. So the question is, Lilith Peters, is she sitting the prettiest right now? Is there enough time in the race, which I believe we're going to have a regulation green-white checker, not an overtime, but regulation. Can she make up 7 spots? I just don't think it's possible. I think Justin Thompson owns this win. Now, does Dayton Taylor have some speed we're not ready for? He hasn't had raw speed compared to Justin Thompson equal tonight. But with him gaining a lot of those positions late, did he save enough tire to put himself in position to make something happen? That and more will be answered. Justin Thompson picks the high line. Dayton Taylor on the bottom. Can Dayton Taylor make something happen? It's going to be a regulation green-white checkered, so not an official overtime. Justin Thompson, can he get the win? Dayton Taylor spoiled the show. What about the cars and fresh tires? We're back racing here at Bristol. We got a spin on the front stretch. We got a car up and over. Douglas Henry, the 31, the 20. Drew Prowl was up and over at one point. Somebody spun the tires, and it's a massive checkup. Let's watch that again. So into the restart zone. Pay attention on the 31 and the 3. That's the third row. 31, Drew Prowl spins the tires, gets into the 3. Douglas Henry nowhere to go. And that 31, or somebody there gets upside down. We find a replay from that area. We don't have any instant reports from the front. Look to the left side of your screen. Bottom left underneath the leaderboard. Lucas Strayer gets clipped, and we got Rex in the back. These are these incident reports. Giroux, the 47, the 20, Arca breaking in the door of the 60. See some other guys involved. On board with the 20 car. The 20 car running over people and Arca braking. Holy. Watch that again. He ran over Giroux, who collected more cars. Holy, Arca brake stopped the car at this point. Sadly, we've seen that for 4 weeks in a row now. Out of much of the field. Well, we'll get a restart. Now, what does this mean? We're going to go to restart overtime number 1. Lilith Peters grabs 2 free spots. First car on those fresher tires. Now, the issue for Lilith being P5, she will start on the bottom. So maybe we need to look at Zach Mirtez. Zach Mirtez, fresh tires will have the top. He can make a move 3 wide top into 1 and make it stick when I think most cars are going to be on the bottom. We weren't able to really study what kind of jump Justin Thompson had over Dayton Taylor. But whatever Justin did, Dayton's going to remember, try to play the game of chess on the restarts. Here we go. Justin Thompson, Dayton Taylor, fresh tires on Lilith Peters, P5. Green flag is up. Green flag is out. We're back racing here at Bristol. Green-white checkered. Really good jump out of Justin Thompson. He's just hoping he can get back to that flag stand under green. Dayton Taylor right behind him. It's going to be white flag. One more lap to go for Justin Thompson. Dayton Taylor doing everything he can, 3 wide throughout the field. Justin Thompson, by far the fastest car tonight, here at Bristol, will bring home the checkered flag.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Hell yeah!
Absolute silence from Justin Thompson. That was his teammate, James Silvers. Justin did not say a word coming to the checker there. Probably still a deep breath. There was a wreck coming to the checkered flag. We got a lot to look at. Let's just check it. I mean, we got Lilith Peters is sideways off of 4. We don't know what happened to her. Can we go back anymore? This is the checkered. Lilith Peters got spun by the 3. Wow. And Justin Thompson getting it up on victory stage at the moment. Great job out of him. The fastest all night long. Justin Thompson, Rowdy up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Justin, it was absolute radio silence when he crossed that checkered flag. Were you just in disbelief that we were able to get back to the green there, or what?
Yeah, after that last restart right before that one, I was fully expecting them to wad it up again, but I mean they held on to it. We was able to get back to the white, make it back around to the checkered.
Justin, you were by far the fastest car after that second run, just laying on absolute heaters. What is it about Bristol, this Gen 4, that you find so much speed?
Honestly, I really don't know. I like the car combination at this track. I've always liked Bristol. I move around a lot. You know, I was paying attention where the rubber was building up, where it was not rubbered in, you know, because I had to, at the start of the race, you know, as soon as the green flag came out, I hit the throttle. I beat Mullins to the line and had to argue with the officials a little bit to get that instead of a drive-through to be an EOL, because it was stupid. But I went all the way to the back on the first run, drove all the way back up to 8th before the pit stop. And then the second run, I had a good rhythm tonight.
Well, overall, Justin, it was a dominant win out of you. Congratulations. I'm going to send you back down.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
We'll send him down P2 tonight. Zach Merritt says, I think this is a good change of pace off of some of the previous races we've went through. You were just in the mix, top 5 all day long. You battled back for second there on those fresh tires. Tell me about your Bristol run.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, I feel like we got a little lucky, but gotta thank TI Racing for allowing me to do this. It's a tricky thing to do in this league, but I don't know, just from the drop of the green flag, I just had so much trouble saving tires. I think it was maybe how I was driving the car. I tried to do a little bit of extra tire saving as the race went on. I felt like my pace really suffered because of it. I know slow is smooth and smooth is fast, but I mean, I just really fell off a cliff. So I just kind of banked it on being where I was at the moment of cautions and just trying to find myself further and further up the running order as the race went on. And, you know, as we got to the end and the caution started falling a little bit more, it's kind of what I was playing off of. And, you know, I just decided that I'd throw caution to the wind. I'd take 4 tires on the last stop. And then the restart wreck happened. It put me up there, and I went from 6th to 2nd in 2 laps, or 4th to 2nd in 2 laps. So that was a really good run. I think I was just really beneficial on short run speed, and that was really where I was gonna shine the most. But I mean, hey, I've never been the best long run car overall, so to be able to be in competition and up here in the front is definitely a nice sight to see, especially since a lot of my luck in this league has just been bad luck.
Well, congratulations on P2. You showed some really good speed out there. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for next week. I'd like to thank all the sponsors that are on the race car: Murder Sports, Pit Stop TV, the Mohawk Foundation, Butler Built Seats, everybody that helps me get in a virtual car and hopefully soon get back in a real race car with getting back to the gym and getting things taken care of, and MX Wraps, everybody that paints these cool cars on iRacing, and just all the great stuff going forward. And if you want to partner with us for our NASCAR local racing season, or just help us out on getting some sponsorship fulfilled on this race car, you can always send me a message at Zach Murtis on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere you can find me, I am there. Or you can give me an email at murtisracing102@gmail.com. That's MERTESRACING102@gmail.com. Looking forward to getting back in the real race car and being back up here with you next week, hopefully.
Oh, never in my broadcasting career have I had somebody do that in the iRacing victory lane, but hey, you kept all that underneath you. I'm not going to be mad about it. Great job. No ums, no us, no stutters. We're going to send Zach back down. Well, Dayton Taylor, P3 tonight. This is the first time I've gotten to talk to you. I don't know if this is your first start in the series or if I've just missed you, but, buddy, top 3. You were in the hunt. You were outside the top 15. You drove your way into the top 10. Final runs, top 5. Here you are after the green-white checkers. P number 3.
Yeah, I DNQ'd Daytona and missed Vegas, so that doesn't help. And I finished 4th last week in Mexico when you weren't here, unfortunately. But yeah, qualified pretty shit. Kind of was just gonna be like, all right, keep my nose clean for the most part. I didn't know how competitive I was gonna be. First laps, I had 10 minutes of practice, never ran the car here, so I was just gonna send it, see what happened. I will say qualifying as bad as I did definitely hurt, because when you're on the back stretch, you lose like 4 spots under caution when you pit. So could have been better, but oh well, move to next week.
Well, great run out of you, Dayton. That was awesome to see. And for somebody that didn't do much practice, you found your speed and you continued to get quicker. So congratulations on the top 3. I'm going to send you back down.
Thank you.
Well, so Dayton Taylor back. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude on-track racing here for the All-American Cup Series, race number 4 from Bristol. This was awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was sick all night long, but we thugged it out. Had to mute the mic a few times to blow a nose, but we thugged it out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.